Seems a no-brainer, doesn't it? Play Pogba further up the pitch and Manchester United are a better team. So why doesn't Mourinho do this all the time?
I have absolutely no idea. You know, we've been talking about this for months, that you have to get this guy further up. Not only that, I think Mourinho has to come up with something. If Lukaku's not the answer, he has to come up with a centre-forward and keep him there. And if it's Rashford, fair enough, but give him a chance. Because if you can get Pogba forward, I think Pogba's at his best when he's linking up with somebody, when he's linking up with a centre-forward. Today, he linked up pretty well with Martial and Lingard. But I think against better sides, he needs a real focal point so he can link with them, and then you'll see the best of them.
I think Mourinho said he thinks something like 3 weeks for Lukaku,
right,
give or take. But maybe it's an opportunity. Well, it is an opportunity for a Martial, for a Rashford. And maybe that movement from Martial, that's clearly different from Lukaku. He's a little quicker. It's not natural for him, but he moves around a little bit more and maybe creates that little bit more space.
You know, I always think one of the problems with Man United is there's no real partnerships around the field, because every single time there's a Man United team steps on the field, there's changes. And when you keep changing, you're never going to get partnerships. And I think that's a huge problem, and one of the reasons why they don't perform the way they can.
If I'm a Man United fan, Dan, I don't want to watch a game. And they've had some poor, you know, there was the Southampton game, there was the loss to Bristol City, there was the Leicester game, they were down to 10 men. I don't want to see Paul Pogba, right, 60 yards from goal, trying to spray some worldly pass over the top. He can do it, but it's only going to pay off once in a blue moon, right? If I'm a defender or a midfielder, I'm delighted if he's there. He's like, I can see him, he's in front of me, I can drop off him, we can get a shape. But if he's in that final third, little step overs, little flicks, we saw that ball to Martial with the outside of the right boot, little intricate passes through, or getting in the box across from the wide position because he's a big, strong boy. Even if he doesn't get on the end of it, if I'm a defender, if I see him coming, I'm kind of drawn towards him a little bit because he's such a threat, and it might allow a bit of room for other people. But I certainly don't think I want to see him 60 yards from my own goal, which is where we're...
So why does he do it?
He just doesn't trust his players. He's always about making sure it's safety first. It's making sure that we don't give anything away. As opposed to, how about, I've got some real good players here, some players who, in the attacking third, can win games. That's not how he thinks. He doesn't think that way. And if he sits down and re-watches this game and sees what Pogba does when he's in the final third, if he doesn't see it, you said earlier, is it a no-brainer? It's an absolute no-brainer.
But Steve, he didn't need today. Surely he didn't need that performance from Pogba today to tell him something that we already know.
Of course he does. He needs to see it with his own eyes. And he needs his staff, by the way. See, this is where you need the right staff around you. You don't need 3 or 4 yes men. Every time you open your mouth, they nod their head and agree. He needs somebody beside him to say, look, we're wasting this. Number one, we're wasting this guy playing him where we're playing him. And number two, we're actually hurting the team not playing him further forward as well. If he doesn't have one of them, then guess what? You're going to see Pogba further back again.
You know, on Saturday, Dan, against Southampton, you could have thrown a blanket over Nemanja Matic and Paul Pogba. Against Southampton at home, they're cannon fodder. They were there for the taking. Let's have a second half of the season, right? 2018's here. United, they're not going to win the title, you know, but they've got some big games to play. They've got Champions League to play. They've got FA Cup to play. Let's see United say, we've got a holding midfielder, one of the best in the league, by the way, that they pinched off Chelsea, Nemanja Matic. Let him do that holding role, and let's see Pogba released, both domestically and in Europe, to go and showcase his talents. That's what I want for 90 million. I don't want him in a...
And it's Watford, Everton stay on 27, Leicester put a little bit of daylight between themselves and the Toffees today, they're on 30, Burnley, nothing for them today, Spurs 37, Arsenal 38, Liverpool 44, Chelsea played a game less than United, give up second, they're on 45, Manchester United into second on 47, and City on 59. So this is how it looks over the next few days. This is Tuesday night. Manchester City play Watford. Channel choices to the right-hand side. All these games live, of course, with us here on beIN Sports. It's Southampton Palace, Swansea City Tottenham, and West Ham West Brom. Wednesday night, just that, but it is worth, I would have thought, joining us for Arsenal and Chelsea. 4K coverage as well as our usual duel on Arabic and English language. And this is the game that was cancelled New Year's Day, moved on police advice because they felt they couldn't provide the security or the safety required as Tottenham and West Ham face each other. That's now Thursday, 22:30 Mecca. Again, there's dual coverage available. At the end of which, everybody will have played 4 games during this period. Your Toffees, Peter, you disappointed?
Yeah, I thought they were poor. I thought once Manchester United stepped it up, there was only going to be one winner. I thought they lacked strength and pace. I can understand in some respects Sam coming and trying to keep it tight, but certainly at home, in front of a crowd which wanted to get behind the team, sometimes it's best to go on the front foot. And they didn't, and they paid the ultimate price.
Did he have, do you think, second half thoughts on the Derby game in the FA Cup Friday?
No, I don't think so. I think when Reedy says, no, it should be on the front foot, how did he get on the front foot? No, I don't think they actually got the players that can do that. No, I think he's just gone for defensively. And when Manchester United scored, I don't think Everton could do anything different. No, I think...
On the front foot, the only thing I'd say was, like, first off, Balassi got crosses in. There was no one in the box.
Yeah.
Now, listen, he's playing the centre forward and he doesn't get in the box, or the opposite wide man, or Rooney from the middle of the park. That's just what I mean. I mean, and then have a high press. Have a high press at home.
I believe in the high pressing,
yeah.
Because one stage they had on the wing and it's just like there's 3 Manchester United defenders, just one Everton player, wasn't it? So I think in the high pressing, that's...
Listen, I don't think, when I look at it, Everton have got the players or the ammunition. But I think, just like Bristol City, again, and Palace against...
get in, get
just
at
upset
Man City. Get at them, get on the front, get the crowd going as well. I think we've played against crowds when they're behind you, and especially at that place, Goodison Park, the great old stadium. They lift players, but certainly there was no. I mean, not a shot at goal.
No. For the second consecutive game.
I mean,
that's
Sam's
really
a big pal of all of ours, but that's not good enough.
No, it's not. But I think he's realising now what the job is and what it's going to entail. And in a perverse way, as an Evertonian, this isn't too bad for Sam, I don't think. And respect, Richard, that he can certainly go to the owners now and the chairman and say, listen, guys, I've been here 5-6 weeks. You see the type of football we have to play. I need some big money to bring in some as big players as I can to up the level of the quality, because there was a real gulf. I know they didn't play well, United, the first half. Second half, there was a massive gulf in the quality. Things that Martial and Lingard and Pogba and Mata can do, that there wasn't a player on Everton's side could match that, could do that. And if they don't have a focal point, that's a huge thing, I think, at Goodison. You know, it's okay having a forward, but when you play the ball up to him and it comes bouncing back off him again, it really, if you're a midfield player trying to join up, and every time you go, the ball's gone back over your shoulder again, you're eventually going to stop going. And I think, you know, Everton need to find a way of getting the football forward, but keeping it forward so that the team can get up the football pitch a bit better.
And here are 2 of those players you just mentioned, the captain and the scorer of another very fine goal for Manchester United.
For you, because you were the Premier League man of the match. Jesse, would you do the honours, please?
Here you go, Paul.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, boss.
The large, one of these giant Paul Pogba. They should give him the armband now, I would have thought. He's the charismatic leader of that gang, isn't he?
Absolutely, he's the future, isn't he? Yeah. He's at the perfect age. He plays in the perfect place on the football pitch to influence not only with his performances but verbally as well, and pull people around. Yeah, I can't think of someone. He's got to play every game when he's fit, isn't he? He's got to play in every big game, so why not?
2-0 then. First goal from Anthony Martial with an assist from Wayne Rooney, which used to be the case, of course, when he wore red. But from here, United spring, that wasn't his best moment in the game, was it?
Just got caught under his feet and then he square ball. And then United are at them. But if you look at this now, there's a lot of blue shirts back there, and they're too deep when it comes here. They can't get the block on. So sometimes you know you've got to be brave defending. I mean, one of the centre halves going so deep for there. He's got too much time on it. He's got too much time on it.
I think we're too deep, Peter, from the minute Wayne loses the ball.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you're 20 yards further up the pitch, we didn't engage them once.
No,
From the moment he lost the ball, there wasn't anyone engaged, a Manchester United player
who could not get anywhere near the ball to shut it down. It's a great finish. Not taking anything away from the goal. It's fantastic, but I'm just talking from an Everton point of view. You know, when like we're having a go at Wayne for losing it, but it's in the final third. You know, so they've got a lot to do to stick it in the back of the net.
As soon as he lost today, he just went back to the defence and he dropped too far deep. Yeah.
But great goal for Manchester United.
Was the second better?
That's what I think,
It's a goal, but no one lays a glove on them again.
No.
I mean, you know, it's too easy. I mean, Keane, he goes past Keane, well, as though he's not there. Look, I mean, this isn't... do me a favour. You know what I mean? He's going with the wrong foot.
I don't think any of the centre-backs. I don't think Ashley Williams...
He goes with the wrong foot.
Look at Ashley Williams come out there.
Yeah, correct.
I'm sorry.
I mean...
Do a little bit better.
I should be eulogising about that finish because it is great.
Yes,
but,
you're right.
I mean, have you seen that? That is poor defending, isn't it?
No, I mean, don't sit in the fence. What do you think?
I tell you what, that was like me against Luton in the semi-final. Have a look at this, Ant. Just have a look at this. Have a look at this now. How can you tackle with that foot?
Oh, just send him one way down the line, whatever.
Yeah, then Williams turns his back, doesn't he, without
they
really
both
doing anything.
go with the wrong foot. Williams then comes in and tries to do the exact same sort of tackle.
It's great play.
But listen, Lingard's hot. He feels confidence. He's playing with that authority that you get when you're scoring goals. And he wouldn't have taken that finish on maybe a couple of months ago.
Teams always have a favourite end. What was your favourite end, Ian, at Goodison to score goals?
Both ends, really.
Yeah.
I knew he was going to say that. I knew it.
By the way, we're not feeling great as it is without you throwing.
I knew you were going to say that.
I'm just looking forward to Friday now.
After that.
Do you remember how many exactly in the derby? 16 or something, was it?
No, 20.
Oh, was it more than that, was it?
25, I think. I'm not counting though.
No, you're not good. 25.
No, Jose, it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. And as I've always said, if this period or the schedule of European games bothers football clubs, that they are the shareholders of the Premier League. They make the decisions. So it's the guy upstairs that you should be talking to, Ed Woodward, and tell him to fix it. But it doesn't work like that, does it?
No, it doesn't work like that. Everyone knows what goes on. The fixtures are out there. And as I've said, they've been unlucky this year. I would have to concede that they have played with shorter gaps.
Well, hold on. What about the year that David Moyes took charge and he was furious about the opening 6 games that he had to confront? And he was criticised from all quarters.
Yeah.
I think when you're manager of Manchester United, and let's have it right, the viewing figures when Manchester United are on are massive. It comes with the territory.
Of course it does.
It's not his fault that the most probably watched worldwide. I think...
but it will be his fault soon that they're not, if he keeps serving up what he has done in recent weeks. But
well, the game's just finished.
According to beIN Sports sources. Thank you, Peter and Ian. Make a date. We're all back tomorrow. Hope you are. Well, some of us.
The thing Paul Scholes does is to criticize. I don't think he comments. I think he criticizes, which is a different thing. But not every one of us has to be phenomenal like he was as a player. He was a phenomenal player. That doesn't mean that we all have to be phenomenal. Paul tries to do his best all the time, and sometimes he plays very well, sometimes he plays well, and sometimes he doesn't play so well. It's not Paul's fault that he made much more money than Paul Scholes. It's not Pogba's fault. It's just the way football is. But I think Scholes will be in the history like a phenomenal player not as a pundit. So I prefer to look at him as a phenomenal player that gave so much to the club that I am proud to represent and to give my humble contribution every day. Every day I try to do my best. If Paul one day decides to be a manager, I wish that he can be 25% as successful as myself, because 25%, so 50% is 12.5 silverware, 25% is around 6. If he's 25%, you'll be quite happy. But in my mind, Paul Scholes, phenomenal player, one of the best players I have ever seen playing in midfield, and he gave so much to my club that I only can thank him for that, because the prestige of this club is based on people like him, so successful here.
Extra time, New Year's Eve. What are you doing tonight, Stevie?
Got my bed.
Oh. Will you watch the ball drop?
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay.
I'll watch a ball drop.
Yeah? Do you know Stevie has an interesting thing that he can't say Happy New Year to people?
Happy New Year, Steve.
Cheers.
Same with Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, you can just doesn't come out. What's wrong?
I don't know.
Julianne is with us. Julianne, what are you doing tonight?
I've got a party with friends to go after the show.
Oh, is it that way? You just pointed. Just behind you.
Yes, this way.
Okay, boys, do you think Diego Simeone is the perfect replacement for Jose?
No, I don't, actually. Listen, he's shown that he can organise, he can fire his team up. I'm not so sure he's shown that he can get a team to play all-out attacking, stylish football. I think Manchester United, as a club, certainly in not only recent years, but their history has been all about attack. I'm not so sure that that's what he's all about. Certainly it's not what Mourinho's about, and if anybody's got a problem with Mourinho, it's generally about the style of football. So I think they have to go the complete opposite way and get somebody who likes to play with style.
Julian, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Stevie. I'm not sure Simeone fits the philosophy of the club. I'm not sure it would be ideal replacement for Mourinho. Go and get Pochettino. You know, just give him a blank check, get Pochettino from Spurs, and give him like all the money he wants to build
Spurs
a winning team.
I didn't realise Julian didn't like Spurs.
Spurs fans will be happy. They won't be happy when the ball drops, Spurs fans.
No.
Next question, Shaka. It's talking about Christmas holidays. Oh, wait, my phone has just died. We've just got it on. Shouldn't the Prem reduce the number of games over the holiday period?
Well, that's been an argument within English football for a long time for a number of reasons. But the general thinking is this is when people are off. This is when they're going to make. I like it. As a neutral and as a fan, I enjoy the number of games. I have no problem with it. I have no problem playing them either.
Did you ever get tired? Do goalkeepers get tired?
We're the hardest working players on the field.
In terms of what?
In terms of hard work.
Stevie, holidays, change it?
Not at all.
Julian?
I would change the 2 games in 2 days. The like Saturday, Monday, or Sunday, Tuesday. I think that's too much. I would keep Boxing Day, but just space out a little bit more the games.
Who is more likely to make the switch from PSG to Madrid in the coming years, Neymar or Mbappe? Julian?
No one. No one. Leave our players alone. Don't go and buy somewhere else.
What do you mean? Hold on. Whoa.
Buy someone else.
Whoa. What do you mean our players? I thought you were supposed to be impartial, Julian. Leave our players. What's that all about?
Apart from PSG.
Yeah. 1 minute, leave our
you
players
know what?
alone.
You know what? No, you know what I think? I think they actually both will end up at Madrid. I do think that Neymar at some point will get to Real Madrid. Maybe not this year, Not next season, I think, but maybe after that. And I think that Mbappe will spend 4, 5 years maybe in Paris, and then, because it's his dream to play for Real Madrid, it didn't work out last summer because it was just not the right time for him. But he's only 19. In 4 years' time, he'll be 23. 23 is still, well, old enough then to go and play for Real Madrid. So I think that both will end up at some point at Real Madrid.
City, PSG play tomorrow. Who wins, Julien?
City, I still think they're better than anyone else in Europe. Over 2 legs, over one game, I think anything can happen. Over 2 legs, I still think they're too good.
With a tear in his eye. What's everyone's New Year's resolutions?
I'm going to run a half marathon in 2018.
Oh my God! Why would you do that to yourself?
Why? What do you want to do that for? Why?
Just because?
Because why? You must have a reason.
Hey, what's
No.
happened?
I'm going to run a half marathon.
Have you just thought of that now?
No. Been thinking about it.
When?
Building up to this show.
Chaka, you were running for 20 years, maybe more as a professional. Why would you? Don't you think you've done enough running? Even goalies have got to run and train.
As the fittest players on the park, I think it's well within my abilities.
You know, hey, don't come running to me.
What was your resolution last year?
Hey.
To learn Spanish. Didn't you have Rosetta Stone in the car?
That's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
That was a 4-year resolution.
Right.
Yeah, it's different.
You know what? I'm going to say something to you that my mother used to say to me.
Oh.
Merry Christmas.
Don't come. Don't come running to me when you run and fall and break your leg. Okay? Used to say that. I used to think, how's that? Don't come running to me when you fall and break your leg. How am I going to manage that? Hey? What's what she said that?
Well.
Don't come running to me when you fall and break your leg.
What a way to end the year. We've got to get Julian's New Year's resolution as well.
Yeah, we're doing it up.
Less bias. Less
I'm
hatred
trying
of
to watch
Spurs.
less football
Watch less
in
football.
2018.
You're going to watch less football.
It's your job.
I tried.
It's your job, Julian. Go on and Benny.
You're only going to watch
I watched
PSG.
too much still, I watched too
You're not
much.
going to watch anybody else but PSG.
That's it?
Yeah.
That is it. Stevie, do you want to say
Sell
one
all the
last time?
players in a minute.
What? Don't come running to me
No,
when
no,
you fall and break your leg.
The other thing.
You have to sit
The
down.
other thing. What, have you got anything to say to our viewers?
All the best.
Hold on. Where's your resolution?
Sure,
You haven't given us one.
I don't think I need to make any, I think.
Let's run a
No, I know he's
let's run a half marathon.
Hey, his New Year's resolution is to ask a question properly. Remember that one? Hey,
Come and run a half marathon.
that's a good place to start.
Why don't you run a full marathon? If you're going to do it properly.
Hey, my mother
Baby
used to say
steps.
that as well. If you're going to do something, do it properly. No, I
Baby
got
steps.
that. I understood that
Baby
one.
steps.
Why don't you just do a proper marathon?
No!
Do the Boston Marathon.
I have to do a half marathon to see if I can make that first.
Hey, she used to say that as well. Hey, she used to say, "Don't run before you can walk."
Oh, you go.
She used to say that one as
Run a
well.
half marathon before you run a marathon.
If you run a half
You
one,
can't
you may as
run a
well do a full
marathon
one.
if you haven't done a half one.
No!
Why?
I'm running a half, make sure I can survive, and then I'll think about learning Spanish.
That is it. And given the task to pick the team of the calendar year in the Premier League, this is what he has come up with. De Gea alongside of Errol, Stones, Walker, Fernandinho, Pogba, Hazard, De Bruyne, Kane and Sané. Steve Nicol.
Where's Salah? Where's Sterling?
Well, I suppose Salah only's played half a season.
Well, Stones has only played half a season.
We played, what, 12 games?
Alderweireld's played half a season. How many games has he missed as well? There's a lot of those players. I mean, surely you can't put Sané ahead of Raheem Sterling for Manchester City.
Sure.
He was decent at the end of last season, and he's been great this season. Sterling was decent last season and has been absolutely incredible this season. So just straight away, you've got the wrong Man City player in there. And Pogba as well. I love Pogba. I think he's got a lot more to show us that he hasn't already shown us. But I wouldn't have him in there. I'd have David Silva before Pogba right now.
Kante seems to be a big omission.
Yeah, that I don't understand how he's missing, especially.
Wasn't he Player of the Year?
He was. Of course, that took into consideration half of 2016 as well. But yeah, he's a huge miss. I'm with Stevie. Pogba, the inclusion of Pogba, the biggest head scratcher for me. And as you mentioned, Dan Stones, I think that there's any number of centre-backs who were in there. Let's keep in mind, City City finished, what, 4th last season? Yeah. They've had a great 2017, but even so, he's only featured in, what, roughly half their league games.
You'd have Azpilicueta, wouldn't you?
Well, just to hear you say Azpilicueta, I would.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Over John Stones. Julian is with us. Julian, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think Conte deserves to be there. So does Azpilicueta, whether you want to play him as a right back or as a centre-half, although he played there in a back three, which is a bit different than the back four that Mark had. In his team, and David Silva, for me, every day of the week, ahead of Pogba or ahead of Sané as well, if Sterling doesn't make it. But those three, Silva, Conte and Azpilicueta, deserve to be there for sure.
What a disappointing way to end 2017, Mark Ogden.
That's a bit harsh.
Mourinho has made the headlines once again by suggesting that Manchester United need to spend more money to catch Manchester City in the title race. Now, City can go 15 points clear if they win at Newcastle tonight. United currently second, they're 10 points better off than last season, so the £300 million that Jose has spent since he arrived at Old Trafford has obviously had an impact, but are they in need of an extra influx of money to catch Man City? Well, my opinion is that I think Jose, although it may sound like sour grapes, he has something of a point. When Guardiola arrived at City 18 months ago, City's squad was much stronger than United. He was working from a much better base. He just had to get an underperforming squad working better again, whereas United, Mourinho inherited a squad of a mismatch of players from Lou Van Gaal, from David Moyes, even from Sir Alex Ferguson, the kind of the remnants of that era. So I think Mourinho is paying the price for, post Ronaldo's sale in 2009, United spent about 2 or 3 years looking for value in the market, signing players like Chris Smalling, Michael Owen, Bebe, Antonio Valencia, who's still there. But at the time, City were spending money on people like David Silva, Yaya Toure, Sergio Aguero, spending more, not spending crazy amounts of money, but spending more to make better investments. And that, for me, is why the two clubs are where they are now. City had looked for the long term back in 2009, 10, 11. United was short term, looking for cheap fixes, and it didn't really work. So, yes, there is a gap between the teams now, and it's based on underspending 7 or 8 years ago. So Mourinho does need to spend more to catch up. In between Pep and Jose, the spending differential is around about £75 million, so it's not a huge amount. But United have spent less than City and had an inferior squad when Mourinho arrived. So he's made United a better team. They're not as great to watch as they used to in the past, but they're second in the table, 10 points better off than last season. But they do need more money spent on the team to make them competitive for City. Like Mourinho says, teams like Tottenham aren't expected to win the league as much as United are. So the expectations are higher at United. I think United need maybe a right back, a left back. Luke Shaw doesn't seem to appeal to Mourinho. They need a commanding midfielder, and they need a number 10, a Hazard or a Coutinho. They don't have these players, and that assortment of players is going to cost around £200 million, so it's not a cheap exercise.